I'll entertain him with interpretive dance.
Look at Charlie's new mug, everyone.
Look at my beautiful new mug. It's the size of a toddler. The perfect cup of tea.
Why? Who drinks tea out of a toddler?
Hooray! Excellent, people can hear me now. Sorry about that. So, that wasn't me being muted that time. That was actually a Streamlabs issue for a change, which is quite nice. So, Streamlabs did an update recently, and it ruined all my settings, which is fun.
That's very kind of it.
Can everybody
Great
hear
and cool,
me now?
cool and great.
Just somebody in the chat let me know you can hear me. Yep. Anyway, cool. Hi, hello. We are Some Other Heroes, a very professional Dungeons and Dragons based TTRPG stream. My name is Chris. I am the DM for these wonderful bunch of people who have wonderful characters. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then I am going to... We have a couple of announcements to get through this week, which is very good, very exciting stuff. And we're going to start today with Wayne.
Hi everyone, I am Wayne Fick. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm an art director and brand coach, and I am playing Rock the Dragonborn Bard.
Awesome, thank you so much. Next, I think we'll have Theo today next.
Hello, everyone. My name is Theo. I use they, them pronouns, and I will be playing awkward half-elf wizard Eugene. And I'm kind of still a little bit full of cold, so apologies for any sniffling or coughing.
We'll have to make sure that we get some chicken soup in Eugene this week.
Yeah.
Some vegan chicken soup.
Vegan chicken, yes. Which is a thing, I have found out. And last but definitely never least, Charlie.
Hi, I'm Charlie. I use she, her pronouns. I am an illustrator, and I play Aisling, the satyr, the sort of reluctant warlock satyr. And I'm really excited because I've missed you all, and I have also got a little bit of a cold, so I apologise for sniffling and potentially muting to blow my nose and make other gross noises.
Yeah, apologies in advance, and I've said to them both that just dive off if you need to. We'll cover today. Biology is horrible and weird, and it just happens to us. There's nothing we can do about that. Yeah. So, a couple of quick announcements. First off, most important to remember. Thank you very much for being patient with us. We had to change our week due to an unforeseen clash. And everyone just was really rolled with it really well, and that was so good of you. Bonus to this is we are on 2 weeks in a row, so we're on this Sunday and we're on next Sunday, which is really, really good because we'll actually remember what's going on for a change, as opposed to have to go through it like a big wind up beforehand going, what happened? My second announcement, next game will be our last for this year, as everyone winds down for the holidays and things like that. But we will be back the second weekend in January. That's January the 9th, because not worth us doing it on the 2nd, because everyone will still be probably quite hungover or just enjoying themselves. And we will have a very special guest who I will be announcing over the next week or so, who's going to be with us for the whole of January, and we're really, really excited to have them with us. So stay tuned, watch the socials. We will let you know more information as we go. Third announcement is not actually mine. The third announcement belongs to Wayne, who is going to tell you a little bit about a change in our scheduling. So I'm just going to hand over to him.
Thank you. So on the 4th of January 2022, which is the first Tuesday of January, we shall be launching our second D&D stream on the Some Other Heroes Twitch channel. But this time, I shall be taking the reins as the DM for only the second time in my life, and guiding 3 amazing new characters through one of D&D's possibly most interesting and exciting new campaign settings, The Wild Beyond the Witchlight. So the adventure begins as our characters are drawn together at the Witchlight Carnival, which is a fantastical and unpredictable traveling extravaganza that visits the material realm every 8 years. And it's also a place that is rumored to hide a gateway to the Feywild. So we shall be launching that on the 4th of January. So keep an eye out on our social media, etc., for more information about that. And please do join us and come and watch the chaos literally ensue.
Yeah, very, very different energy from this bunch of characters we're putting together. It's going to be fun, and
It'll be so good.
Yeah, I think we're all very excited for this.
Which means / terrified.
Yeah. No changes to some other heroes. We're going to still keep going on with adventures in the scattered realms, scattered lands as normal. So you will get all this joy and the Witchlight story on the side as well. So we're super excited. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Double joy, weekly joy.
Yes, excellent. Right, so we'll remind you of that anyway in the socials and everything. Before we start, big hello and thank you to all the lovely people from Wicked Game joining us today. I can see you all, it's really appreciated. And to Deck Plays, who's finally managed to catch us live, because Deck actually streams a lot himself.
Deck!
So thank you so much for coming along. And a big thank you, as always, to Colleen's mum and Charlie's mum, who have been with us since the beginning and continue to be massive supporters. We love you to pieces. Thank you so much.
Repping the D&D mums.
Yeah.
Hi, Mum. Love you, Mum.
So, without further ado, I think perhaps it's time we dive into this week's episode. It's been a few weeks, so I'm going to quickly recap for you as best as I can remember myself.
Thank you.
On our last episode, our 3 intrepid adventurers were attacked by corpse sprites. Fending off the strange little fey creatures, they managed to win themselves a well-earned night's rest before moving further into this strange, mysterious island they have found themselves on, asked by the Adventurers Guild to explore and investigate. They came across several people and a couple of animals, all of whom seemed to be affected by some sort of strange, mystical malaise. They didn't interact with people in a normal sense. They kind of went through motions rather than being able to respond to the adventurers in turn. All their behaviours seemed natural but short-lived. So some farmers who basically, when you touched them, would farm and then stop. A dog who remembered they were a dog for a few seconds and then again stopped. All very creepy and mysterious. Deciding that they couldn't do anything for them at the moment, they decided the adventurers carried on to the village, which they found out was called Greyoar, where they found a very similar sight. Most of the villagers in this same strange state, standing around, not in any danger or in any harm of any kind, but just still. As they were about to investigate the village further, they were called out to by a large black dragonborn calling from the inn, who dragged them inside, where they found 8 survivors of the village, the only 8 people left with their own minds intact. Pressing information out of these new friends, they found that the reason is because a clever mage inside the tavern by the name of Gree had erected a version of the Intellect Fortress spell, but as a ritual around the inn, keeping everyone inside more protected from whatever force was trying to steal who these people were. It was explained that these people had still lost a lot. Memories, time event. None could really say how long they had been there in that state. The only thing that they could tell them was it had been a long time. They had lost a lot of people. And strangely, they did not need to eat anymore. Almost like they were held in some sort of stasis. Gris and Eugene formed a very quick friendship over academia, and Gris asked Eugene to help him figure out how to manipulate his ritual so that it could be placed upon objects so people could go more freely in and out of the inn without having to be there all the time. Eugene agreed, and the two of them have begun looking through Gris's notes. In the meantime, Rock, having had a conversation with the Dragonborn, found that there was a great discrepancy between the history of the world that they knew and this world. And it does seem to be that either they are on another plane or in another time. Further to that, he decided to try and help one of the villagers who seems to be on the verge of losing herself entirely by casting Lesser Restoration to try and force out whatever is causing this strange malaise. At the moment that it did, a strange voice pushed back against the spell and in a deep, creepy, inhuman tone said, "New playthings, yes." And that is where we will start today's episode.
I forgot about that creepy last bit.
Me too.
I don't want to play anymore.
Right, I think having heard that, Rock will try desperately not to let this person see how shook he is. I was going to say, do you feel any better? Do you feel any different?
I can't say that I did. I feel a bit calmer, maybe. It was a nice meditation. I appreciate it.
That's good. That's something that will help. We'll pick this up again if you would just excuse me for a moment.
Certainly. And she goes back to her rum.
Eugene's upstairs or away with Gree, correct?
No, I think you haven't specifically decided to go away. I think that you're still like they're probably just in the starting of kind of going through, and these like Gris is not as organized as you are, Eugene. Notes are all over the place, and
so as I walk past Eugene and Aisling, I am literally unceremoniously going to grab Eugene by the collar, arm, or anything else that I can, and drag him along, and I'm going to grab Aisling and drag her along into a corner and just kind of throw them into a corner and just go,
Whoa, what's going on?
So I have cleared some things up. I'm now a little more clear on the fact that there is definitely something or someone causing this. It is not natural. Someone is doing this.
Okay.
Okay.
How?
What makes you think that? What happened?
Well, there was a tiny hint when the voice in my head called us new playthings.
Hey, I'm the only one with a voice.
No, this was definitely a voice, and it wasn't a very nice voice, and it's very creepy, and it called us playthings, and that's not really... This has got a little bit creepier than I thought. So
that's not ideal, is it?
But it's definitely not just sort of like the island or something. There is definitely an intelligence behind this. So yes. So I did. I found that out. Now, can we please fix it and go?
Well, yeah, I'd love to, but I don't know how we do that. I don't know how.
You and that other the boy. Can't you do things, make things happen?
Well, I think if he'd have been able to fix it, he would have done so by now.
Yeah, but he's not as good as you, is he? But with you helping him.
Well, I mean, I'd thank you, I guess. But he's been studying it for ages. I don't think it's going to be a quick fix. I mean, we'll try, obviously. I mean, he's showing me his notes. It's such a mess. Honestly, I don't know how he doesn't have an alphabetizing system or
This is not
like
helping.
sticky notes,
He's
anything.
too pretty to be organised. Have you seen his face?
Well, yeah, that's true. But that's not the point.
What?
The point.
Wait, I'm just going to pause everything and just have a quick look at him. No, he's quite pretty. Anyway, in a kind of academic kind of way. Anyway, this is
Academically pretty.
This is no time to be messing about with himbo wizards. We do need to we need to find out more about what's going on.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'll go try and sort out the notes and get back to you with what we found out, I guess.
Okay. I'm going to try and talk to the proprietor of the building. I may just get a drink first. Excuse me. And I'm just going to head over to the bar.
I'm going to follow Rock because I'm like a bit freaked out and Rock's very large, so I'm just going to stay with Rock.
And it's entirely likely because Rock is also quite easily projects his voice and is quite flamboyant that he has drawn a lot of attention to this corner of the room.
I was whispering.
Yeah, your idea of whispering is very different to everyone else's.
I'm sure nobody saw me drag the two of them unceremoniously into a corner.
Whilst my very hard hooves dragged along the floor. Yeah, like a chair, pulling a chair back.
Like pulling a chair back.
Whilst those two head to the bar, Eugene, Gris is kind of looking at you, kind of as you reapproach, holding like 3 pieces of paper, which he's kind of. Is everything okay? Your friend seemed a little distraught.
Yeah, he's quite often dramatic. Don't tell him I said that.
Oh, I mean, I could never tell.
He said he heard a voice.
Oh.
Is that have you ever experienced something like that?
No. I mean, generally if wizards hear voices, people get scared. But no, I didn't. What kind of voice?
Well, he said it was creepy and that it said something about us being new playthings.
Oh. That doesn't sound good at all.
No. But you've never heard anything like this? No one here has ever said anything about hearing a voice or...
No, what did he do?
He tried to cast a spell of restoration on someone. He wondered if it would help, and I said it wouldn't hurt to try.
Well, I mean, maybe that's it. I mean, none of us have ever... I mean, restoration is generally kind of a divine sort of magic, even if it's not used by clerics. So maybe calling out to higher powers, like the world at large. Maybe. Ooh, that changes some of my theories. And he kind of just dives in and he kind of pulls out like a piece of charcoal and starts rapidly making notes on a couple of arcane symbols. But that does confirm one thing that we've suspected, but never been able to prove, that there does seem to be an intent. Right?
Yeah.
That feels like an intent. That means that there's a mind behind this, which can be reasoned with or stopped. And that is actually more terrifying because that means that somebody's got to fight it.
Yeah.
Or reason with it.
And I think at this point, Eugene probably realizes that the 3 of them are the most qualified out of this bunch of people, and he starts to get a little bit concerned.
I'm sorry. Can we just take a moment to appreciate what a kind of game this is when Rock, Aisling, and Eugene are the 3 most qualified people to fight a big bad?
I need an adult. Oh no,
We need a dungeon adult. Nope, that's a different thing. We don't need one of them.
Note to stress, we are a very different sort of dungeon-based podcast.
Yeah, you got to buy the expansion pack for the other stuff.
Dear. So Chris starts kind of scribbling notes and starts and kind of puts a couple of things in front of you and goes, right, so on that basis, we would need to particularly focus intent of so it must be some sort of spell as opposed to so what I've been doing is actually the right thing, but okay, so my problem has been I don't know how to get something this wide and disparate onto something as small as a talisman for someone to walk around with.
Right.
I can cast it on an individual, but it only lasts for an hour when we do it that way. I'm trying to make it last. I think, possibly make this last 2 to 3 days, which would be so much better for everybody if I can do that. Any thoughts? Any theories?
Does Eugene have any thoughts or theories?
I was waiting for you. You may indeed roll an Arcana check for this.
Good. 19.
19. So you look through the notes for a bit, and you're kind of sketching around the idea, and you can see that part of the problem is his ritual is focused on a place. It has no connection to a person. Whereas if you can get someone to attune to the amulet before you actually cast the spell on it, like put something personal into that, it would work. It would hold. It'd be like an anchor, a magical anchor to link that person to the amulet. The only problem is if the two of you manage to do it that way, people can't share amulets. They have to keep their own amulet, which means that poor Gree is probably going to be in a situation whereby he still needs to be casting these things on a regular basis.
Well, it's not like he's popping out to the movies.
Okay. I have an idea.
Okay.
Maybe. What if we were to... So, we put the spell in an object, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if we get someone to attune themselves to this object so it has like an anchor?
You can see the tumblers just kind of fall into place, and there's this whole like bright moment. Like, I hadn't even considered that. That's genius, Eugene. You're so clever. That's brilliant.
And he goes bright red.
And I think he's got hold of your hand again in enthusiasm, and it kind of like, oh, sorry.
But it's okay.
And it's awkward silence as the two of you just sort of sit there. And, anyway, yes. So you think if we got... So would it be easier with personal items, or...
Yeah, I mean, it would be stronger, right? If there was some kind of personal connection, like something of that person in the object. So maybe something they already have? Do you think that would work?
That would work really well, I think. I think it's going to take time for us to kind of get those sort of spell components in place. Probably best to test it on someone other than two of us. Not because we don't want to... If we're the only two people that can do this, then... Yeah. I don't suppose you can think of anyone who would willingly volunteer.
Aisling would do it.
If
you give her some cheese, she'll do anything.
Give us some more cheese.
Oh, that must be difficult because you're adventurers with contracts. If people offer her cheese, doesn't that mean you're not getting paid?
I'm part goat.
You can give her a bit of a tin can, she'll do it.
Oh dear.
And I mean, she's brave. She'll do it.
Okay. Ashley, like Chris is calling over to you.
Yeah?
Could Eugene and I borrow you for a minute?
Alright.
Would you mind asking her? Because, I mean, you are her friend, and it feels like it would be better coming from you.
Okay, so I have a really important job for you.
Okay. I sit down and I've got a huge thing of beer with me and it goes everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, what's that?
So first question, do you have something on your person which is like important to you, like an object that you care a lot about? Not not that. Something else.
Okay. I've got a really good rock.
Okay. And do you care about the rock?
Yeah. Look, it's got like 2 holes in it.
Okay. Yeah, that might work. So
I mean, it's convenient. You can tie a cord through it.
Yeah, I was going to turn it into something pretty, but I just put it in my pocket. I found it ages ago.
okay, that's nice. So we have a theory. So the spell that our new friend here has been working on, we think that we could make it so that we could put it into an object and then it could protect that person while they're wearing it. But we sort of need someone like brave and cool to like test it, and to like kind of be like the hero of the hour and like just check that it's working. And I couldn't think of anyone better but for the job than you. I mean, if you'll do it.
It makes sense. I am the brave one. So, I mean, yeah, it does make sense. So, it would like stop me turning into that lot out there.
Yeah, well, that's the theory, yes.
Okay.
Not forever, but certainly for a little period of time.
How long?
I think I can push it for 3 days.
Okay, wait, so, hold on. You're going to test this on me and then make me bugger off for 3 days?
No, well, we should be able to tell, because if you don't have strange dreams for a couple of days, we know it's worked.
Oh, so I get to sleep for a couple of days. All right, that sounds good.
Well, not for a couple of days. So you can sleep that long?
You can't?
No, I'm lucky if I get 4 hours.
Oh my god, but you do so much reading. Reading makes me fall asleep immediately.
No, I mean, there's so many things to think about. Like,
I do my best thinking at night. It's quiet, there's no one to interrupt me.
Right, okay, so I'll be the brave one instead of the nerd one, and I will do
thank you so
the
much.
brave thing. Be careful with it.
Yeah, I'll be careful with your stone.
It's important stone. It's got 2 holes in it.
2 holes, got it.
Yeah.
That's rare.
All right. It is.
they kind of put it very gently in the middle of the papers. Chris is like kind of treating it with some sort of minor reverence.
Good.
She said it was a very important stone.
Yeah, see, you're doing the right thing. Okay, so what happens now?
Well, we need to put the magic into it, and then when we're ready, we'll give it back to you, and then you can rest for a couple of days.
Okay, so I don't need to do anything to help?
No, but I think if you... I mean, Erda always needs help if, like, gathering things for the... and the like, and Riskriff will probably want help protecting and patrolling and things, so if they want to keep busy, I'm sure they would want your assistance. I mean, particularly if you're the brave one.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I am. All right, I'm gonna go check with Rock because he's the grown up, and he'll tell us what's the good thing to do. And I leave those guys to it. I grab my big thing and go back over to Rock.
I think we'll go back over to Rock as well at the same time, who is probably sitting at the bar with a strong mead and a slightly concerned looking halfling.
Yes, I'm just going to sort of drink my first drink very quickly, and then I'm going to put it down, ask for another one, and I just wanted to chat to Erda and just say, could I ask you a question?
Of course you can, dear.
During all of this, what has been happening here for the last while, has there been any voices, any people speaking to you in your head, or anything
I can't say
like?
that I have had that. I certainly can't remember it. I think that's the sort
Well,
of thing you should
no
worry.
offense, dear, but most of you can't remember what you had for breakfast, so it's not.
Oh, I can remember back that far, but I certainly can't remember anything like that. So, if it did happen, I'm sorry. And nobody's mentioned anything like that to me recently. So, I'm sorry, Rock. Why are you hearing voices?
No, not at all.
I mean,
Good save.
I'm fine.
I'm not a herbalist, but if you are, there are some things I picked up from one of our local healers.
No. It was purely hypothetical. No voices whatsoever. I'm perfectly fine.
No, she kind of just taps your hands like this. Have you tried this sort of very deep breathing that I've seen people do? Which is really, it just calms you down because the voices are they're part of you, and you should be afraid of them.
I am literally just going to raise an eyebrow and not say a thing.
Aisling turns up next to you and is like, "Are you having another moment? Are you having another little episode?"
I think this
No,
whole thing has
I'm
been a little stressful for your friend, which is completely understandable. It's a very stressful situation.
I am not stressed. It's not. It was part of the. Never mind. Now, what's going on? Have they solved it yet?
Well, they've taken. So I've got, that well good stone that I showed you before. It's got 2 holes in it.
We'll say yes.
Yeah, of course you remember. They took that and they're gonna do some magic on it and make it so. Well, they're gonna test it on me because I'm the brave one. I'm gonna go outside, and if they do the magic right, then it means I'm not gonna turn into those strange robo people outside.
What are they going to do? Hit you with it?
Nah, I don't know. I guess I just carry it around or something, and I go out, and they're gonna make sure that I don't have weird dreams for 2 days, and then that means it's worked. So they get in there. I've just left it with them.
Fine. I mean, Eugene seems to know what he's doing.
Yeah, they're both so smart. I don't know if it's a good idea to combine their forces.
Well, the other one seems a little sort of distracted, but
They're both very pretty. They're probably just looking at each other, getting distracted.
What is this obsession everyone has with? I'm just going to turn around and look again.
Look at them. I appear really
young.
close to you. I'm really close to your face. Like, look at their bone structure.
Get to personal space, Aisling. Personal space, dear. Thank you. Right. So, what?
So they said that it's going to
what
take
do
a
we
minute
do?
for them to cast some stuff on it, so we can help out with some chores or something.
What?
Yeah, apparently they need help fetching stuff and guarding things. I'm up for the guarding things. That sounds exciting.
I'm not fetching things.
No, I'm not fetching stuff. I'm guarding stuff. Though.
I mean, there are strange creatures out there. Like, sending people out to get stuff is actually quite a risky job, you know.
All right.
Only the truly brave would go out on one of my errands right now.
Hey, now I'm picking up on something here. I feel like you guys are saying this to get me to do things.
No, love. We would never do that. That's manipulative. You're far too clever.
I mean,
for that.
it's working. It's working.
That's manipulative, and you're too clever to fall for manipulative things, aren't you? Yes.
She flashes Rock a sort of a wry smile. But
He smiles but tries not to.
Yes, I could certainly do with some people picking up some of the bits and pieces that we need. Just some things for food, some fresh water, things like that. And I'm sure Riskarif would like a second pair of eyes on duty of an evening if you are feeling free. We haven't been attacked by corpse sprites for a while.
I think they're a little busy
dealt with
eating
that.
each other.
Oh, you bumped into those, did you?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they're nasty little blighters.
Bloody loads of them.
The thing is, and this is the weird thing, it's like they tend, anything that moves out there, that's still alive and thinking out there, doesn't seem to touch anybody who is out there. It's really odd. You'd have expected them to chow down on easy prey, but they don't seem to even notice they're there.
Yeah, it's a good point. We spotted that. They were more interested in eating each other.
And anybody who's not affected.
And us.
Yeah, and us. Yeah, that.
It's weird. It's something... I mean, we haven't been able to put our fingers on it. But we haven't had brave adventurers like you before, so who knows? Things seem to be looking up.
Yeah, we'll work it out. Well,
I don't suggest you do anything tonight. I suggest you get a good night's sleep. It seems like those two are going to be busy for a while anyway.
Yeah, they only sleep for like 20 minutes or something anyway, so it's fine.
Well, I mean, they're both a little special, like half-elves and tieflings. They have a tendency to touch things that the rest of us don't have a chance to understand, don't they?
Yeah.
Except for you, I mean, Satyrs, you're practically from the Feywild, aren't you?
I don't want to brag or anything, but yeah, we're pretty fey.
Anyway, I suggest you get some rest tonight. I'll help yourself to anything you want from behind the bar.
Thanks.
We've got a distillery going just to keep ourselves entertained. So, Riskarif will show you around the village tomorrow. She kind of hops off of her step for a second and goes and pulls out the door, like 2 keys. I've only got 2 rooms at the moment, and they're next to each other, fortunately. Aisling, I presume you'd like some privacy, and the boys can share. It's quite a nice room.
I'm alright with that.
I'm sure we'll make a plan.
Welcome to Tipsy Triton.
Thanks.
Thank you. I'm going to grab a bottle from behind the bar.
I'm going to grab
she
a
said
baguette
take
from
what you
behind
want.
the bar.
She did, and she doesn't even bat an eyelid. She just kind of goes back to doing... You kind of get the impression, like, I think we said this last session, she tends to be more keeping herself busy than actually performing any sort of task that seems to have any real function. It's the sign of somebody who's literally just trying to keep things ticking over and just not think about what's happening around her. So
I'm going to go and I'm just going to grab a table nearby and sit down if I can in a sort of corner away table, making sure that I can see Eugene and Grease.
Are you sitting by yourself?
But I am for now. I don't know if Aisling is joining me, but
I might join you after I've grabbed some more snacks.
some more cheese.
And the bread.
Whilst you're waiting for Aisling to appear, Bramder, the dwarf, wanders over to you and goes, I wondered how long it would take you to find some space for yourself. Do you have a moment to talk?
Yes, I'm not planning on going anywhere tonight.
I think Aisling is heading towards the table and then sees that interaction and, like, holding loads of cheese and bread in her mouth. She was like, okay, I'm going to go this way. And she goes and sits somewhere else.
Oh, dear. So, as I said to you before, I am a servant of the great dragon, the saviour of this land.
Yes.
And I want to know if you are a friend of the dragon.
Any particular dragon?
He doesn't impart his name to us mere mortals. We are just grateful that he managed to save as many of us as he could from whatever has, and he kind of gestures around, affected this land.
Wait, so he saved you? When was this that he saved you? I've realised I've just asked a question that requires memory, so I'm literally just like that.
He saved me some 15 years ago.
Wait, this has been going on for 15 years?
Oh, this has been going on for much longer than 15 years.
And nobody ages?
No. Children are still children. The elderly don't get any older or sicker. Even those who seem to have some sort of ailment, it doesn't get any worse or better, it just stays. The only thing that goes is the mind.
Right. And this dragon, when you say the great dragon saved you, how exactly did that work?
The cult approached me and asked me to aid the dragon in his great work. And when I agreed, the dragon touched my mind. And I have been free since. I cannot regain what is lost, but at least I am losing nothing more.
When you say the great dragon touched you, how show me on this doll. No, how exactly did you meet the great dragon? I'm a little clear on the details here. A little unclear, rather.
Not meet per se, but I know he's there. And I think he'd be very interested in a dragonborn who might also wish to offer his services.
May I ask, sir, if the great dragon protected you from any further memory loss, shall we say, why would he not help the others here?
Oh, they have to pledge to his cause, of course.
What exactly is his cause?
To free us all from the grip of this. To end this cycle so that we can all be free.
But surely everybody here would be happy to end this cycle.
I don't think you quite grasp what I mean there.
No.
To lay waste to these lands so that no one need suffer anymore.
Right, so the great dragon wants to just
free us.
Destroy everything.
Free us from the weight of whatever has been done to us.
And how does one go about meeting this great dragon?
Well, if you are going to town, I can give you an address before you leave. You can meet the rest of my brothers and they can tell you how to go about it. If you're interested.
Well, I mean, if he wants to help and help people and end whatever's happening here and possibly get me off this hellhole, then perhaps it would be good to meet. Would you mind jotting down the address for me?
Shuffles down like an address which is Great Bridge Lane.
Great Bridge Lane. Do I ask for someone? Is there a secret knock, perhaps?
They'll know you. They'll see you coming, and they'll approach you, I assure you.
Because I'm a dragonborn, I assume.
And there aren't many of your kind in this area.
Oh, and apparently I don't have a tail either. Anyway, So how long ago was this that you have been worshipping the great dragon? And I don't mean to be rude, but are you sort of destroying things sort of in the background. I'm a little unclear on how you're exactly going about this mission yourself.
We're not cruel. No, we're not destroying things as they are. We're just trying to find those who are amenable to lending their support. The more of us there are, the more chance we have of freeing the dragon from his shackles, so that he may rain his benevolence upon us.
Well, it's a very, very interesting story, description.
Think it over. There is no harm in not having the courage to see this all end. We all...
I was certainly not about courage. I must speak with my companions and make an educated decision. Courage is certainly not the problem. For courage. Would you care for a drink while you're here insulting me?
I will leave you to your thoughts and your companions. And he kind of shifts a look at Aisling. Just remember to keep your own mind before theirs. That's my only advice. And he wanders off into the corner. And I think Erda just kind of catches your eye as you're kind of looking, and she just shakes her head and just shrugs.
I think when he leaves, Aisling sort of trots over to him. What's he looking at me for?
Honestly, I have no idea. Very strange little man. However, he did say some quite interesting things.
What?
Well, I think we should, when we have a chance to talk together with Eugene, I think I should share this information as well.
Right, yeah, fair enough.
What is Eugene doing at the moment?
Oh, I think...
Apart from apparently flirting up a storm.
I think they're probably in the midst of like a very intense conversation, lots of excited gesturing and looking through notes and that kind of thing.
I think Aisling's watching you and she's sort of saying to Rock what she's imagining you guys are saying. Like when you do people watching, she's like, oh yeah, look at this page. It's got so many words on it. Oh. That's what she's doing.
Sign of a true
Initially, Rock is just going to kind of shake his head as if this is completely silly, and then halfway through the conversation, Rock is going to do Grease's voice as part of it.
Yes.
And Rock is going to do, oh, I do! Look at this! I know exactly what they're doing. I'm in the mage. I'm very powerful. I protected
Oh,
you.
magic, 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 magic.
Not now, Rock. We've got some magic to do.
Oh, yep, that's what we're doing. We're being really helpful members of the party.
Totally mocking the people who are actually doing this stuff.
Yeah.
Dear. Yeah, so probably oblivious to your two friends quietly whispering to each other in the corner. You and Grease carry on, like forging ahead. I'd like you to make a note that you have the rudimentary knowledge of how to learn Intellect Fortress.
Ooh.
You can't cast it yet because you're not high enough level, but when it comes to... So if you ever want to learn that spell properly, if it's not one of the spells you can take, you can mark off half the cost.
Ooh, cool.
For doing so. So, the two of you make some really good inroads. You start sketching down ideas, and you bouncing back and forth. And it's going to take you a little longer, and it's getting quite late, you think. It's getting dark outside. And it's probably a good time for you two to have a rest, but you think you're fairly confident the pair of you may be able to crack it with a good amount of work tomorrow.
Okay.
I think there's this sort of... How late do you work?
I think Eugene would go as late as possible. I think he's probably would get to the point where he was doing that thing where you're like trying to listen, and then you notice yourself kind of doing this.
I'll have a quick constitution, just a check.
16.
You at one point feel a heavy weight on your shoulder as Grease just kind of dozes off.
Oh god. Oh, Eugene obviously is a bit awkward, and he's like, "Oh, do I wake him up? I mean, like, what do I do?" He's kind of like on me, but
You're doing that thing where you're terrified to move.
yeah, he's like completely still. But then he's like, "Well, how long do I wait? Do I wake him up? Is he gonna wake up? Like, what? Am I stuck here forever? Is this my life now?"
Am I gonna die here?
That's it. We're leaving you here.
Is this the point that Rock and Aisling decide to go to bed?
Yeah, probably.
Rock is just sitting in the corner glaring at the two of them.
Ashling's gonna go upstairs and it's like, night, wink, wink. Ah.
I think eventually Rock will make his way upstairs, but I will sort of take the long route past Eugene and just, if Eugene is still awake, I am just going to say, are you all right?
Yeah, everything's under control.
Okay, I'll be upstairs in the room.
Okay.
When you come to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Good. Okay. Good. And I'm going to head upstairs.
Most of the regular patrons have gone to bed, but Riskarif is up because she has a tendency to stand watch and keep an eye on things. I think she watches Rock go and then kind of fixes you with a sort of a questioning sort of stare, Eugene, and then just rolls her eyes and kind of gets up and just very gently takes Gris by the shoulders so that you can move.
Thank you.
And just like when you get home, she just kind of lays him quietly down. It's not the first time that he's done this.
Should I take him to?
He'll be fine. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'll make sure he goes up when he gets conscious again. Good night, Eugene.
Good night. And he sort of slinks off to bed.
That was the cutest.
So, you all eventually go to bed. And before we settle down, I would like an intelligence saving throw from you all, please.
Saving?
Oh, that's not
no.
Uh-oh.
Oh! Wow.
Wow, well I can see the natural 20 from Wayne. That's amazing.
Wow.
I got a natty 22.
Nice. What did Eugene get?
Wow, the smart boy got a 10.
He got a 10.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. The good news is, under the protection of the spell, 10 is actually the DC that you needed to pass.
Oh, thank
this
God.
time.
You've had bad
I don't have
luck
many
with
precious
this
memories
stuff.
left in here.
No.
You're going to have to start giving up mediocre memories next.
You're going to be an NPC soon.
Those memories of the days that you had that were kind of alright, really.
There is actually a kind of a form I've got which is like use this, NPC.
Yeah.
Create your new character. Create your temporary character. Please. So you all managed to get to sleep. It is not a sleep without dreams, though. Rock.
Oh boy.
You find yourself cast back into a memory. Sitting beside a large stage with a single figure sat strumming an ornate lute in the middle of it. Greying black fur and a gentle broom to the sharp green eyes does nothing to diminish the charming air of the older tabaxi bard who taught you your trade. Sitting before you in his elegant coat of silver and blue sits Allywood Jack, performing the last stanza from The Last Stand of Ildir, one of the first stories that he taught you. The coming of the Maelstrom is just beginning, and the description of you that you know so well of the arrogance of this lost nation will not, as they do not accept help from those who have offered it. You glance across the stage to where the audience sits, and it is here that you notice just small changes in the memory. People sitting in place who were not there, some of whom you have not met yet. Julie Deschamps, in her bright red coat, taps along with the melody just as you remember her current fascination at the time, a young Goliath warrior with sharp features hanging on her every word. But there are others. A large, fatherly ogre and his human daughter sit closely with him, enjoying the ease of a man who has put down his burdens, while she looks over him with the protective gaze of a young woman just finding and learning what her place is in the world. Behind them, a pair of halflings, one light, the other dark, arms entwined and enraptured by the performance and each other's company. And in the back, an unfamiliar tiefling in a heavy travelling cloak, their features obscured, but their gaze fixed on you. You're about to move towards this last figure when Jack finishes. His tale ends and the room bursts into applause. He stands, and with a deep flourish and a bow, one which you have adopted yourself, he strides confidently towards you. As he steps close, the applause in the room beyond the stage fade until it is just the two of you. He continues to approach you with a warm smile on his lips. You know, moving this deep into the song takes a lot of magic, young storyteller. But I am presently in debt to a less than scrupulous wizard for helping me get here. It's worth it just to see you. So, my young friend, what mischief have you gotten yourself into this time?
Well, do you know, I'm not entirely sure. Can I just say it's always a joy to watch you work.
Well, I mean, I would like to be humble about this, but it is years of practice and training.
Also, when have you ever been humble, Allywood?
Humble is for the small, my love. Come on, he pulls up a chair and goes, sit. You are in a very sticky situation, and it would be nice to hear from your own lips what you are doing.
Well, it appears that we've found ourselves in a strange place. I cannot yet figure out whether we're in a different plane or in a different time or in some weird place that someone has forcibly put us, but people are losing their memories and I don't know why. And I am with my companions, and to be honest, we are trapped within this world. I have no idea how we're going to get out.
Well, you've kind of hit that nail on the head there. You are indeed trapped. I was actually on my way to find you because I had sensed you had woken to the song, like we always suggested you might do one day.
It has become part of me.
And then when I got close, you vanished. Just poof, gone. So I asked some friends, and they told me that you had been given an important mission, that you had gone on to this secret island to try and figure out what happened. So
Well, yes, I am a well-known adventurer now.
You're certainly building a reputation. A good one, too. So I asked a few friends, and a wizard who is very clever has put me into your dreams for a few hours to give us a chance to figure out what is going on. So the good news is, you are still on the same plane of existence. Whatever is happening to that island is on the island.
Well, that does clear that up, although it doesn't explain why Aisling has lost touch with her strange visitor.
I do not know this. What strange visitors? Like a patron, a god, or
She appears to have somehow inherited a patron from somewhere, or he has chosen her. But she is unable to commune with her patron, which is somewhat unusual if we're on the same plane.
it makes sense. After you went in, the clouds around the island tensed, and now no one can get in or out.
But the one thing I do know for sure is that there is someone behind this. There was a voice in my head, and before you say anything, it wasn't those kind of voices. It was during a meditation, and anyway, referred to us as playthings. So I suspect there is someone who is using this island as their own entertainment for some bizarre reason.
He nods, and that would be fitting with the sort of cruelty that would take an island out from the world and then put it back, but not allow people in. I'd say like a cat playing with a toy, but such things are in poor taste. So, do we think we can use what you know and your skills and my skills to push in further? Maybe we can get an answer.
I am happy to do what I can.
And he pulls out a very familiar looking lute and starts plucking a very simple tune. We'll build like we used to, but you take the lead this time.
Okay. I shall do something a bit different, and I'm actually going to pull my drum out. And I'm going to start with a very gentle kind of rhythmic beat, but one that is just a very consistent, almost it starts to sound like a heartbeat. And I shall play the drum for a while to kind of guide him into the song.
Are you going to use any of your skills or any of your magic to try and enhance what is happening here?
Oh, yeah, always. I am going to use, I don't know if I can even do this, but I'm going to play the drum and get this beat going. And then I am going to use Mage Hand to continue the drum while I pull out my flute.
Nice.
I love that. That's really cool. Yeah.
And I am going to play my flute. And I'm almost going to make it that it sounds more like a tribal tune than something very melodic and soft and whatever. There's a kind of urgency and a rhythm to it that's almost tribal, and starts to feel almost primal in how it builds. And I will encourage him to build with me as we work up, and it gets louder and louder and slightly more frenetic as we go, but so that it feels like it's working up into almost a frenzy. And then I'm going to slowly stop the drum with the Mage Hand, and I will use Silent Image around us to cast almost what looks like swirling lights that build and throb as we kind of play. So there's this pulsating, swirling light as we play this kind of frenzy of music.
That is awesome. I would like you to make me a performance check, but I would like you to, on top of your normal roll, add an additional 15.
Okay. Come on, dice. Oh, right. So, 15 on top of it.
15 on top of that.
I've got to do maths.
You have got to do maths, I'm afraid. It is a game with maths. I'm sorry about that.
Oh my god. 15.
What?
So,
What? Why
It's
did
not
no
what I
one
signed
warn
up for.
me?
that will be 31.
As the song and your...
Oh, hang on a second. I lie. 41.
There we go.
Sorry.
That's what I was hoping for. Yeah, even better. So what happens is you kind of feel the song kind of ebbing and flowing, and it's not a song anymore. It's words, it's breath, it's the very first words, the ones at the soul of creation. In and out, in, out. The very life of the universe finding its core and starting to build. The very song that dragons sing in their sleep. And you feel the spell, the dancing lights around you, just pulled away from you. Your control gone. Still your magic, but you do not have control of it at the moment. And as you lean over, you realise that Allywood Jack is gone. You are in this on your own now. And these lights dance and spread out, and before you is a absolutely huge, vast, empty space with small stars floating in the distance. Before you is an ancient monolith made out of a version of your light, and as it solidifies and condenses, you think it's made of frozen earth and permafrost and barren roots. At first, you think it's just like a cored piece of the land. Sometimes the mining researchers used to bring these home to your family homestead as a child, and you were fascinated by them. But as your eyes adjust to this strange light around you, you can see this actually has form. Long limbs with too many joints folded around a very slim body. Perfectly angled features closed in slumber adorn a long, and you want to say elfin face, but somehow longer, sharper, more cruel and more beautiful at the same time. Around this figure, bands of steel and metal that you can't quite work out what the second metal is, wrap around it. It kind of occasionally shifts as if trying to test these bonds. As you were just getting used to this strange sight in front of you, a large serpentine shape darts past you like a comet. The front of this creature looks to be vaguely metallic, of the same colour of the bands that you can't identify, but the tail trails off into a radiant, shimmering energy. A second form follows the first, using the same trajectory around it. Also serpentine, but this one is made of steel, tapering out into a dark green corona of light. You watch as the second serpent darts forward as if trying to catch the first. As soon as the first one notices, it speeds away from its steel companion, keeping an equal distance between them. But you know instinctually, deep down, they are tiring, and each time the steel serpent gets a little closer. Two words echo out to you as the dream slips away. Help me. Ashley.
Suitably horrifying.
I shouldn't have had so much to drink.
Ashley's had a lot of cheese. What
Yeah, I
kind
was
of
going to
bloody
say,
nightmare
cheese
are you
dreams
gonna have?
are
Oh my
going to
god,
be
you
real.
and I had a whole cheese platter. No wonder I'm having weird dreams.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you drink, when you eat fantasy cheese.
Oh, is this just one big lesson to stop me eating fantasy cheese? God damn it.
Ashley,
Yeah.
you stand in a beautiful field of unfamiliar flowers beneath a twisted old oak tree with blue-green leaves that lazily dance in a gentle breeze. In front of you, you can see a rolling landscape of woodlands, stone-topped hills and deep valleys. A land you've never seen but somehow feels familiar. There's no sign of your friends or the island that you went to sleep on, and part of you knows that this is a dream, and part of you also knows this is not real. Sorry, this is real. Down the hill before you is a large white tent with a few unlit lamps hanging from tall stands. Even from where you are, you can see there is movement within the tent. Perhaps someone wants you to know they are there.
I'm gonna go towards the tent.
Okay. You make your way down, and you find yourself in front of this beautiful, elegant, white linen tent with like frost patterns etched, sewn into the edge to kind of give it like a slightly sparkly blue hue.
Ooh.
You can just make out inside the tent a long oak table set with fruits, meats, a very large gaudy tea set. Inside you can just about make out two figures. One large, sitting very still, and one small, moving around busily.
I'm gonna poke my head in the canvas a bit and just see who they are.
So opposite you is a large ornate chair, and sitting in it a very tall, elegant figure robed with light woven robe that shimmers in the half-light of the tent. You find it hard to catch their actual features, but there is something shifting about them, almost like they are permanently changing to fit whatever you want them to be. An air of power radiates from them. Standing before them, busily trying to serve up everything and prep everything for them, is a bullywug in a navy jacket, currently laying out a place with a plate, a cup, and some cutlery. As you consider what you should do, the bullywug turns to you and speaks. "Good evening, Miss Ashley. The Elder One welcomes you to this place in good faith. Under the binding laws of hospitality, they ensure your safety. Won't you please enjoy a cup of tea with us?"
Okay. And she goes in and sits on I'm assuming a chair is free?
As soon as you step in, he motions to the place he just set.
Oh, okay. Alright, sit down.
You must have a lot of questions, I am certain. So, please, you may ask the Elder One anything you like. And they will help where they can.
Can I start with a basic one of who are you guys?
I am but a servant. This is the Elder One. The Elder One is who currently holds this land together.
Right. The land with the time and memory related issues.
Yes. The Elder One thinks that perhaps some information might help you. So they are willing
So the Elder One wants to fix it, right?
The Elder One wishes to be free from the prison. You see, some dastardly dragons who are feuding imprisoned them a long time ago.
Why?
Oh, well, the Elder One didn't used to be as pleasant or as beautiful as they are now. Once a long time ago, they tried to conquer the world below as you once knew. And these dragons decided to chain them up for their fun. However, the Elder One has learned that they've had to rely on these people for such a long time now that they understand that they need to be cared for. They have no interest in the world beyond this island. They just wish to be free, and they believe that you can help them do that.
Is Elder One able to talk, or are you the only one who's going to talk to me?
The Elder One will talk through me in this intermediary at this point in time. Simply put, the Elder One is so vast and powerful, were they to speak directly into your mind, they might take something that they don't want to, and that would hardly be fair.
Right, fair enough. Okay. If Elder One were to be free, what are they going to do to this zone that we find ourselves in? What's their plan?
They will take the island away and will not trouble the world at large. And they will keep these people safe and alive forevermore. Happy and free. But not part of your world.
Right, these definitions are very loose and vague. What information have they got for me that means I can help?
The Elder One has agents on the island who have something that they wish you to take. If you use that item on one of the dragons, it will break the balance, and the Elder One will do the rest.
But still very vague. Balance. Why do we want to break it? Is the balance what making people very stasis-y?
Yes, no change can be made as the world is at the moment.
Okay, and the change they want would involve people being okay and not evaporated or brainless and forgetting everything.
They would be subject to the Elder One's will, but they would be free to live their lives.
All right. Okay, so Elder One wants me to find a thing and use it on one of these dragons that I'm just hearing about right now.
Yes.
Why? I feel like she needs to start making notes. Right, why are there dragons?
Dragons have always been in this world. That is what we understand at any rate.
And the dragons are stopping the Elder One from having their fun.
They used to, but now they are just keeping them in spite. We are certain of this.
Okay. All right. Okay. Still struggling to work out who's the good guy here, but that's fine. That's fine. So, where do I find this thing?
On your journey forward, there is a temple where some of our agents talk to the Elder One. They will know what to do, if you wish to help us. We are willing to enter a true bargain, a promise to leave your shattered lands alone if you do this for us.
That insinuates that something will happen if I don't.
The contract will be binding. We are not obliged to keep our promise if you do not keep yours.
Sounding very much like a threat, my friend.
Forgive us, we do not mean harm. We are just wanting freedom more than anything.
Okay. And with this freedom, you would just take this island and go.
We promise.
Okay. Right. Well, I'm not signing anything right now because I need to have a chat with my pals. Okay. But
we have nothing to hide. We will allow you to do this.
Good. I should hope so. Okay. So what do you want me to do now? What happens now?
Or have a cup of tea and sit a while. The decision is yours.
I've suddenly lost the will to eat anything you're providing.
Then I would wake up. And you do.
Huh.
For context, Wayne, one of the things that Jack would have explained is that the spell he used to get to you would have possibly tumbled over and affected your friends, which may leave them exposed.
Thanks,
Sorry,
mate.
guys, I should have explained that one a bit better. But just weird things happening.
I'm never going to question weird things happening in these campaigns.
Weird things have been happening for weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like Aisling just wakes up like, cryptic as shit, for God's sake.
And last but certainly not least, Eugene.
I'm not sure we want to know what Eugene's dreaming about.
Hey, what are
Yeah, do you want us to go while you discuss this one?
Your dreams take you somewhere familiar. You find yourself back on the Twins, wandering down from the woods outside your mother's farmstead. Before you is a familiar figure. Your father, standing looking towards your home thoughtfully. As you approach, it strikes you odd. He's wearing his full plate armed as if he's ready to fight. As you approach, he turns and looks at you. You get closer. His face relaxes, and a smile. There you are, my little genie. I was hoping we could talk.
Dad, I thought we discussed that you weren't going to call me that anymore.
Without even thinking, he just reaches out and ruffles your hair. How are you doing?
Okay, I think. Honestly, I feel a little bit out of my depth.
We're always out of our depth sometimes, son, you know that. But you're brave, you know that.
Well, I try. Not as brave as you.
He motions to a bench that he carved for your mum, and the two of you take a seat next to it. He puts his greatsword down against the fence behind it. I'm going to be honest with you, my little one. I'm not actually your father, but one of the three who holds this place in power. Something happened that left you open, so I thought I'd reach out and try and talk to you directly, rather than try and just lash out blindly.
Well, I mean, that's not exactly the way to gain my trust. How did you know that my dad called me that?
Well, because you do. This is
right.
Your mind.
You're in my brain. Got it.
I came to you because I feel like one of the other two has already taken stuff from you. And I think I can get that back for you.
What do you mean?
Can help me in return. One of them sucks memories from people. I'm sure you must have noticed that.
I have been feeling a little foggy.
Listen, this island is cursed. It has been for a long time, and the three powers that hold it in place are old and tired, and none of them want to relent, not even me. I want to break the cycle and free this island from the torture it is under. If we continue on this path, I can't guarantee what's going to happen to anything, and the thing that we've held here for so long might break free, and it could hurt everything that you hold dear. In my mind... Sorry.
What is this thing that you're holding?
A god. So old, it actually predates this world. So hungry, it doesn't even view people like you as truly worth its attention. Something so chaotic that the very nature of the world changes around it.
Yeah, that sounds like bad news.
Pretty much. It's not an easy decision to make, but the only way to guarantee this thing does not get loose is to destroy this island. And the only way that I can do that is if I am freed.
Wait, but what about the people who live here?
He looks genuinely sad at this, like, if I could save them, I would.
But we must be able to do something.
I risk any small amount of that creature getting loose. It's in every single one of them. Only you and your companions currently stand free of it. I have a difficult choice to make, and I'm sorry, little one, so do you. In order to save your world from this creature, these people may need to be let go.
Okay.
It's a big ask, I know. And I don't want you to make a decision now. But if you feel that my way is the right way, if you make that choice, my cult, the Cult of the Dragon, is there, and they will help you.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a minute to just...
I don't have long, unfortunately. This is someone else's spell, and I can already feel it fading. You don't need to make a decision for me right now. And to prove that I am not unkind or unsympathetic, I will try and do what I can to release what has been taken from you. He gently reaches out and he touches you, and that memory of your sister, the one that was taken to you from you first, it's not whole, and there are bits that are a bit fuzzy around the edges, but you are aware of it again.
I think he just stops for a second, and then like tears start falling from his face, like kind of like he's not sobbing, but like he's sad, and there's tears, like kind of uncontrollably as it's all kind of coming back to him.
Your father puts his arm around you, and the scene shifts slightly to your bedroom when you were younger, and you had a terrible nightmare, and the only person who made you feel safe was the great hero, your father. Take your time with this, Eugene. Not an easy decision. I am here if you need me.
But how do I contact you?
Go to the cult. They will guide you on your way.
And there's no other option. I mean, I'm sure you've had plenty of time to think about this, but what you're asking of me, I don't know that I can do that.
I have been thinking about this for 495 years. There is no other way. If I had been allowed to do what I need to do to start with, none of this would have happened, and these people would not have suffered. He kind of looks up for a second. My time here is short. Find my cult. Make your choice. I cannot make you do this, but I can just impart on you this is the right thing. This is the best course. I am sorry. And with that, you slowly find yourself waking up. And I think the three of you probably all snap to consciousness around about the same time. And that is a perfect place for us to take a break.
Is it?
Yeah, I need a minute to regain myself. What the hell just happened?
Dear. So we're going to take a 10-minute break so everybody can just recenter themselves a little bit.
10-minute existential crisis.
Have a think. I just dumped a load of stuff on all my players. And yeah, have a think. come up with some ideas. Send us your mad ideas. We really want to know what you think is going on.
Yeah, go on, Mum, help me out.
Yeah. Stretch, have a drink, give someone a hug, and we will see you soon.
Got a dog.
See you in 10 minutes. And we are back. Hello. I hope everybody is refreshed, has had a nice stretch, grab some drink. Did you see all the wonderful people and artists and creators that we have in our video? Some of them might be in the chat room at the moment. We couldn't tell you. Before we went on break, I did the biggest lore dump on these guys that I think I have ever done, giving them all 3 individual dreams based off the back of an old friend of Rock's who you haven't met before, but is very much in Rock's backstory, reaching out and trying to figure out what has happened to his former pupil. The spell, dream, left the Rock's 2 closest friends, both geographically and personally, exposed for a second, allowing 2 of the denizens responsible for what is happening on this island to reach out directly and talk to them, making offers of their own. As we come back into it, all 3 of you snap awake at exactly the same moment. I think Eugene and Rock are sharing a room, so you would probably be very much aware of the fact that at least one of you probably sits bolt upright quickly.
I think Rock probably does a very dignified... What?
I think Eugene would just sit straight up in bed and be like, "What? Rock, are you awake?"
Yes. Very awake now. Just had definitely had too much cheese.
Ashling boots their door open. A scary dream!
Rock instantly grabs the sheet and pulls it up like that.
What? I had a scary dream. Can I come sleep with you guys?
Well, you don't have to come in here and scare us.
I'm not that scary.
Well, come in, close the door.
Okay. And she climbs into one of the beds with you guys. Just be like,
Wait, you had a weird dream too? I had a weird dream. I'm not even sure it was a dream.
No. Wait. Was it the same dream? Were you in a theatre watching someone play on the stage?
No.
What do you mean no?
Can have a dream.
It wasn't the same dream, but we all had a dream.
Yeah, mine was well cryptic.
Well, what was yours about?
Oh, it's like this tent, and then there was this little guy who was talking, and then this really scary big person who was like not stable. Their face kept changing, and said something about need to free them so they can do something cryptic and probably not great to this island. It was all to do with our situation. It's not as fantasy and weird as I expected it to be.
Oh, that sounds pretty weird to be... What do you mean their face kept changing?
I don't know. I couldn't work out what they looked like. It was weird. They were called the Elder One. Suitably spooky.
What did they tell you?
Something like I had to get something from a temple and use it on a dragon. Something to do with dragons. And then this creepy Elder One would be free and they'd take the island away with all the people on it and leave us alone. But I had to let them do whatever they wanted to the people, and they were trying to convince me it would be fine, and I did not believe them.
So wait, he said that he would take the island and the people, like the people would be okay, or like the people would not?
I tried so hard to ask them whether the people would be okay, and it was always a real vague, they'll be fine, wink, wink, kind of answer.
I kind of had a similar thing, I guess.
Really?
Yeah, so I had a dream. Well, the dream started off as a pretty regular dream. My dad was there, but then he told me he wasn't actually my dad, and he said something about a spell I don't. Someone cast a spell to visit Rock, I think.
Oh, carry on.
Oh.
I'll fill that bit in.
So because of this spell, these people were able to like reach into our dreams, me and you, I guess. So he kind of told me a similar thing, and he needed my help to stop this evil thing from like escaping from the island and destroying the entire world. But he told me that we had to destroy the island and like everyone on it.
What?
Yeah, that.
What?
But
What's
I don't
the
want to do
evil
that.
thing?
We don't have to do that, right? There has to be something else we can do.
Did he mention, by any chance, the great dragon?
I think mine did.
I don't actually remember.
He didn't mention it by name, but he did infer that he was one of the dragons, or a dragon.
Oh yeah. So there's. I feel like we're in the middle of some like family feud, and they're all like they all can't decide what's the best thing to do.
So two things. So first of all, Aisling, you remember when the little dwarf man was talking to me?
Oh yeah, and I gave you guys a and I did.
Yes,
It looked like a pretty severe conversation.
a strange little man. However, he did tell me that he is part of the cult of the dragon, and they worship, or in some way, I don't know, are involved with the great dragon, and told me that the great dragon wants to destroy the island. So that fits with that
Yeah,
part
he
of the
said
story.
something about a cult. Cults are never good, right? There's no.
Yeah.
They said the word cult.
I mean, you wouldn't, would you? Would you start
Yeah.
something called the cult of? It just wouldn't, would you?
Bit on the nose, isn't it?
It's never going to end well, and it's a PR nightmare, quite frankly.
A what?
Never mind. So my dream was a little less. Actually, unusually, my dream was a little less sort of talkative than yours. A little less
hell?
wordy. I know, clearly something weird happening. So, I think there are three entities at play in this island.
Oh, good, one each.
In my dream, I saw a creature of some sort that, quite frankly, was rather horrific, that has clearly been trapped. And I think it's been trapped by the other one or two. And they were kind of in a chase around this one. And I got the feeling that at some point, if one of them catches the other, then everything will change. I got the feeling there is some kind of equilibrium going on. So I'm guessing one of them is the great dragon. One of them is whatever this thing was that was trapped, and then there is a third, possibly the one that you spoke to, Aisling.
The elder one. Well, they wouldn't talk. It was only the little guy that was talking to me.
Rock.
Why can't all powerful beings sort their own shit out?
I mean, you'd think
Why do we have to do it?
If you've got a whole cult, surely you can. Anyway, Chris, did I have any idea when I heard the words "help me" in my dream? Do I know who said that?
Roll an insight check.
Oh, we're rolling.
That's not bad. 19.
19. Given what you saw, the way it behaved, and the urgency in the voice, you suspect it was the lighter of the two dragons, the one that was...
Oh, the one being chased.
The one being chased.
Ah.
And the help me was urgent. And I think with a 19, from what you watched, that one seemed to be the only one interested in keeping things the way they are. The large figure was trying to break out, and the other dragon was trying to catch the first one.
Right. But the problem, I definitely got the feeling that they desperately and genuinely wanted help. However, I do get the feeling that that help would keep things as they are.
So our options are destroy it, keep it as they are, or let some terrifying elder one play with it. Not great options.
Play with it. That voice in my head said we were new playthings.
Oh, yeah,
That explains where that came from.
Ugh.
Those are not particularly good choices.
No, I feel like we need to think of another one.
I mean, from an over-the-table perspective, you have two definitive wants from two of the figures. The third one has just asked for help. Hasn't told you exactly what it wants. It just wants help.
Okay. Well, seems like we need to get more information from this one that wanted help, right?
Yeah, but how do we do that?
Because the other two seem a bit less than ideal.
Yeah, I don't trust either of them.
I have to say I don't know these people, but I don't feel that destroying people or leaving them to be playthings of anything sits terribly well with me.
Nah, I think we're going to avoid those options.
Although
Do you reckon we should go to that temple that's been mentioned like 100 times and see if anyone's there that we can ask questions?
Well, perhaps if we went to the Temple of the Elder One, perhaps if we went there, we could get some kind of feel for exactly what the Elder One is. I mean, if we go there and they're all, with rainbows and flowers and all loving everyone, and then perhaps the Elder One isn't so bad. However,
getting the feeling that it's not going to be like that.
No.
Because I'm supposed to go to this temple and find a mysterious thing, and use it on a dragon, and that would stop the dragon. That sounds a bit...
But the problem with that is which dragon? Because in my dream there were two dragons, and if we stopped the wrong one, then we would essentially be helping this great dragon that wants to destroy it. The place, I assume.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely got some not so great vibes from the dwarf guy with the destroying. That didn't seem like a solution to me.
He's part of that cult, isn't he?
I know, there it is again, the cult. I mean, how can you trust someone who's part of the cult of the... I mean, it's just
can't
absurd.
Really.
I mean, he did give me back some memories. So, like, I think when we came here, something happened, and one of my memories was taken.
You lost a memory?
He gave it back.
Oh.
It's not perfect.
Okay.
You know that it wasn't there before.
But did he give it back because he was the one who took it?
Well, he made it seem like it was the other one, but I don't know who to trust anymore.
No.
And was he just doing that so he can get me on side and to get me to help him, like, murder everyone? Because I'm not okay with that.
Exactly.
He looked like your dad.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't my dad.
Yeah, but...
Daddy issues. Well, I certainly don't know who to trust. I mean, I trust you two. I don't trust... I'm not sure I trust the people out there. I mean, they don't remember what they did yesterday. I'm not entirely sure they know who they are anymore. But if that one could give you the memory back, then it does sort of imply that they may be able to help these people get their memories back. So why would it want to?
Yeah,
then
but why
destroy
hasn't
them?
it done it already if it can do that?
Well, exactly. And why would it want to destroy the whole place if it was?
Well, he
And
told
what
me
if
that that's
we-
the only way to stop the big evil bad spirit thing.
But which one is the big evil bad one, though?
Well, I think they've
They
contained
all
something
want to do
here.
bad thing, or these two anyway. They want to do bad stuff.
Well, the one that was contained, let's just say there was a monstrous element to it. It definitely didn't strike me as kind. I mean, I could be wrong. I have been told not to judge appearances, but
Rock, make a quick intelligence check for me.
who must I? Oh, see, I knew it. Not intelligent.
That's fine.
It was a 2.
A 2. Okay. Carry on.
Never mind.
As you were.
As you were.
Never mind. Nothing happens.
Oh man.
God damn it.
Wait, so you saw in your dream thing, you saw this thing that's been held captive. What did it look like?
It's a little hard to explain, to be honest. It kind of looked like... Well, it was bound by metal bars of some sort, 2 different metals, and it was very gangly and kind of sharp, and it had limbs that were a little too long, and it wasn't particularly pleasant, to be honest.
Actually, it was oddly beautiful. Like,
Oh, take it all back.
yeah, very alien, but it was something strangely beautiful, cruel but beautiful.
Cruel to it or cruel?
Something
No,
cruel
just
about
cruel
its
looking.
nature. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it didn't seem like it was looking for a hug.
Yeah. You know, like those beautiful pieces of like abstract gothic science fiction art where you kind of look at it and you're like, there's nothing pleasant about this, but somehow it is beautiful. It's that sort of feeling. Like a sexy, uncanny valley. That's a really good
God.
description.
Is it? Is it? I don't know.
Really
It's now that's the perfect description. I like that so
Oh my
much.
god,
Not okay with that.
that's so wrong.
Like watching,
Excuse-
like seeing one of Geiger's pictures or something like that.
Yeah.
Where it's fascinating and beautiful, but you know that's also grotesque and weird and wrong. And
I
Excuse
do.
this one. She's building a nest.
That's fine. I do think perhaps we should go and have a little look without committing to doing anything just yet. To sort of maybe see what this this group of people who worship the elder thingy is. What elder one?
Yeah.
Elder?
The elder one.
But we're steering clear of the cult of the dragon, right? Because that.
I mean, elder one didn't sound great. Just as a little disclaimer, like it was all very lovely. The setting was nice. There was tea and cake and everything, but they
And what did they
didn't
look like?
talk.
Did you say?
Very tall.
That was the one with the
Very-
moving face, you said.
Couldn't quite work out what the hell was going on facially.
Tall.
Big. But maybe
Cake.
seemed big because the other guy was so little, but I couldn't quite work it out. And there was tea and cake, but I didn't touch any of it. I've seen Pan's Labyrinth. I didn't touch any of it.
I mean, you're Fae. You know.
You're from the
that-
Feywild.
Exactly.
You
I
virtually
was
lived
the
Pan's
pawn.
Labyrinth.
Plot twist.
You know about the rules of hospitality and things like that, so you also know that if you had taken something, you would have been obliged to respond in some way. So.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, the cult of the dragon, we could certainly look into and try and find out a little bit more. But as I say, something that is committed to destroying the island is the only way to. Well, that's the thing is, they don't really say what the point of destroying the island is, which makes me suspect that there is an ulterior motive they don't want you to know.
Well, he said it was to stop whatever they're keeping captive here, to stop it from, like, getting free and destroying our world.
And that thing you saw, Rock, was captive.
Oh,
Maybe
yes,
it was
very
that.
much. It was very much captive, but I did get the feeling that the kind of chase that was going on around it, if the one caught the other, it would in some way release this thing, perhaps.
Oh, bloody hell. All right, I guess we better go to one of those temples then, because we're not going to work this out just sitting in here.
Well, also, it's very early in the morning, and I'm not dressed.
I'm not going to be able to get back to sleep, though.
Well, go and see if they've got any more cheese downstairs.
Okay, I'm gone.
Yes, that will solve your weird dream issue. More cheese.
Need some more cheese.
I am going to. I don't know what time is it, Chris. I expect it was early morning.
It's a little time before dawn, so actually you guys have had a full rest, so you're not tired or anything like that.
I will get up and sort of get sorted and stuff, and I'm actually going to just go and sit outside. Oh no, I'm not going outside because then I'm going to get all weird. Okay, I'll go and sit in the corner downstairs, and I'm going to go and play my flute a little, because if I step outside, I'm going to turn into a zombie or something. And I'll go play my flute.
Play your flute. So you are sitting, and Riskarif is downstairs. She nods to you as you sort of come down.
I will gesture.
She has a couple of the windows open, probably mostly so she can see what's approaching the inn.
Actually, I would like to go and have a chat with her.
She doesn't smile, but her she seemed gentler, more relaxed around you than yesterday.
Is she still checking out whether I have a tail or not?
No, I think that's past.
That was very uncomfortable, quite frankly.
I'm
going to go over and I'm just going to kind of lean next to her, looking out the window, and just say, "Good morning. Have you been up all night?"
She pushes a large copper pot towards you, and he goes, "Yes, I watch of an evening to make sure everyone's safe, and I sleep during the day when everyone else is awake. It is a better solution to anything else. Have some coffee."
Oh, I wouldn't say no. I'm going to pour myself some coffee. I was going to say to her, may I ask you a question? Obviously, we are rather new here, and I wondered if you could share a little information with me.
If I have it, I'll share it. That seems fair.
Do you know anything about the Great Dragon or the cult of the Great Dragon?
She snorts and she goes, "Bramder been picking your brains, has he?"
He may have practiced his recruitment speech.
Yeah, well, if there is this great dragon waiting to free us all from our burdens, I don't want any part of it. I've got a family I want to get back to, and I want to make sure that they're safe and alive. His sounds like a new type of crazy to me. It's not really surprising given what everyone's going through on this island, or this land, so...
Do you know, have they ever mentioned, or have you ever heard of any other sort of cults, or... I believe there's a temple nearby. Do you know what that's all about?
She thinks for a second. Well, there's the old tower in the woods. Nobody really goes there at the moment because, well, obvious reasons. Also, corpse sprites tend to frequent there for some reason. I think there may be a nest somewhere nearby, but not been able to sort of go out and have a look. I did hear tell of something. It was a strange fellow that came through, well, before Bramder arrived, actually, and before the Fletchers decided to join us properly. Muttered something about a like a temple on the way to the town.
Yes, that's the one. Did they mention who the temple is to, or whether it's currently occupied? Or
Said something about an old spirit or something that they were going to try and implore to help. Weird fellow, bit druidic. Not sure how that all went. Never saw him again, so we just assumed that he
is probably standing outside.
Somewhere on the way. Yeah, you'll probably see him if you and Gris manage to sort out this spell thing, or your young Eugene manages to figure this out. You might see him if it works on your way to the town. You are still going to the town, I assume.
Well, it depends on if we can do so safely.
Well, yeah, absolutely. We wouldn't want you to put yourself at risk. I mean, I have a personal stake in it. I'd like you to check in on my family if you are going.
Is that where they are, in the town?
Yes.
Is there somewhere particular I can look for them? Should we go there?
Yeah, if you're using the main road in, just before the main gates, there's a little yellow fence cottage. My wife and my children are there.
Should we go there? I shall endeavour to find out. You'll forgive me for asking this quite so bluntly, but if they are there, and I assume they would be well, like everyone else, but simply sort of stationary, what should I do? Do you want us to try and bring them back? I don't know what we can do.
If they're gone, they're gone. But just make them comfortable and safe. That's all.
Of course, we shall most definitely try our best. Anyway,
Gris's theory about his mentor fixing up the place will mean that they are somewhere safe. And probably the same state that we are, which gives me some hope.
Well, I will most certainly let you know either way, should we be able to find them.
Thank you. And
anyway,
apologies for the way I acted when you first arrived.
Well, I mean, it was a little alarming, but then, to be honest, since we've arrived, this place has been a little alarming, so no offence taken.
Appreciate it. And she pours you another cup of coffee and herself one.
I'm going to lean back and check out her tail.
It's a nice tail.
Filth.
I'm going to make sure that she sees me checking out her tail.
She just smiles and shakes her head and drinks her coffee. Yeah, she's a nice tail. She's got a very lucky wife.
I don't know what the tail has to do with that, but okay. I'm just going to say, well, I shall leave you to your morning. I hope you sleep well.
I hope so too. It's the nights where you dream that you wait that you don't want.
Oh, you have no idea. And I'm going to go and sit in the corner and play my flute as originally intended.
Aisling and Eugene, what would you two like to do?
I think Eugene went back to sleep for a little while just to get a little more rest after his late night and somewhat disturbed sleep. But I think he kind of wakes up excited to carry on like studying and talking with Grease about the spell and stuff. So
was Grease still asleep on the table?
Someone has put Gris on one of the long benches and just tucked a blanket around him.
I'm going to press the digitation, just like some soot from the candle into little glasses and a weird little moustache on him.
This is becoming Rock's signature move now. For the next hour, poor Gris has a comedic moustache and glasses.
Oh
That's
my
it.
god.
It's for no one's amusement apart from my own.
In fact, it's actually a nicer way of doing it because it fades after an hour as opposed to some people who just walk around for hours and not know.
Exactly.
True.
Sorry, Eugene,
Yeah, I think he would come down and well, seeing that he's still asleep, maybe he would try and wake him up.
You kind of shake him and he kind of, hello. Hi. Oh no, I fell asleep downstairs again, didn't I?
Yeah. You kind of fell asleep on me, actually. But I don't. You look so comfy, so I just. Sorry, I asked them if I should take you to bed, but they said it happens.
So he goes like a very deep grey, which is definitely his form of blushing. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, and I didn't. I assure you. I mean, you must have been comfortable. Not that is a criteria for it. I'm going to go upstairs and get ready for the day. It kind of grabs the blanket around him and just kind of like shuffles off as quickly as he can. At this whole time with this whole ensemble, which he hasn't seen yet.
Yeah, Eugene kind of tries to tell him, but like he's leaving so quickly that he doesn't really get a chance to like tell him that he has stuff on his face. It's kind of like okay. He'll look in a mirror, right?
Charlie's had to pop away for a second.
Yeah, I was about to, but we will come back to that. So two of you are left in the room, and Erda comes down, looking like tying her hair up in a bun, and just kind of fastening her apron up, looking ready for the day. And she stops at the edge of the stairs and looks at the two of you, goes, "Oh well, who are you? How did you get into my inn?" I'm just kidding with you. If you can make a little bit of humor out of this situation, what can you do?
That.
And just good-naturedly just kind of bumbles along, getting set up for breakfast and things.
I'm just glaring at her.
She's amused by this. She's chuckling away to herself.
Oh, don't make me prestidigitate you.
Aisling, what are you doing after Rock leaves you and Eugene? Eugene goes back to sleep for a bit.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I briefly missed a few seconds because there was a delivery guy and Bulba started yelling. So, what did I miss?
You missed. Rock put glasses and a mustache is now his trademark on.
Saw that one.
Chris.
Saw that bit.
Eugene woke him up, and there was a usual awkward exchange between Chris and Eugene before he tottered upstairs to try and get himself ready, looking very embarrassed with himself. Other than that, not
Adorable.
Really a lot.
Okay.
And the lady came down and pretended she didn't know who we were.
Ah, that's so cruel.
I know, right? For a second, then I was like, "Oh no!"
Oh God.
Who's gonna tell her?
Is that little dragon cult dwarf anywhere around?
It's probably in his room at the moment, so
Okay.
it's fairly
Dang
early. Eugene sleeps in a little bit longer. Rock gets up and just goes, but you're used to Rock getting up first, so.
Okay, all right. Well, in that case, I'm downstairs as well,
Yeah.
in the main bit, and I'll scan and look for that little dwarf because I've woken up with a boldness, and I'm just like, I'm going to ask him all the questions, but I can't see him anywhere. So, I'm assuming I can see Rock playing the flute in the corner.
Settled in the corner, playing a flute, looking slightly amused with himself.
Okay. I'm going to grab a gigantic mug of coffee and sit down near that and tap along with my hoof, enjoying the music.
As soon as you and Erda and Ashley, as soon as you're all sort of up and around and aware, you see the large black dragonborn Riskriff just kind of gets up, stretch. She says good night or good morning to you all, and then she takes her and her heavy greatsword up to bed, leaving you three and Erda getting ready. Does anyone want some food, or I can put on another pot of coffee?
Some more coffee would be lovely, thank you.
I'll have whatever food is going.
I need to get some fresh cheese, but
Have you run out of cheese?
we've got some bread, some
That
pickles.
happen. Yeah, anything.
So she just pops together. She actually gets you together like a nice vegetable stew with some big crusty bread.
Stew for breakfast. Num num.
Funnily enough, I very much got into baking since we started this. Since I got locked down, I've started baking.
Started doing sourdough.
Got quite good at it too.
Sourdough and banana bread, the lockdown food.
So she preps you some breakfast, puts on another pot of coffee, and just pops another huge pot, copper pot with 3 mugs on the table near Rock. And she just, but if you need anything from me, I'm just going to take stock. We believe that the Fletcher children said that they wanted to do the run today, so I'm going to give them a list and just keep them out of their mother's hair for a bit.
Do the run? What's that?
Oh, look for some stock in other houses and things, and
Okay.
just go up to the dairy and just check to see whether what we've made is ready. And
Are they going to be okay doing that?
providing they're only gone for an hour or so, they're usually okay. And they've done it enough times now that we trust them with it.
Okay.
They're good kids, those.
Yeah, it's not them I'm worried about. It's everything else outside.
Well, that's why we do it during the day. Most of the creatures out there tend to move around more at night. Anyway, if you need me, give me a shout. And she disappears off into the back room, leaving the 3 of you on your own for a minute.
I'm going to go up to Eugene and say, like, where's your friend?
Oh, he went to go get dressed and stuff. I guess he slept on the bench.
He slept down here. Oh,
Yeah.
how have you? Did you get anywhere with the magic with my stone?
Oh yeah. So it's coming along. I think maybe another day's work, and we should have something.
Hey, good.
Yeah. And the stone's still fine, by the way. It's
Okay,
in one
good.
piece.
All right. Okay. I was worried.
Wait, it's all one piece? What about the 2 holes in it?
But the holes are still there.
Okay. Eugene, this concept for the stone, the amulet thing, would it then take you the same sort of 2 days to do each subsequent one, or is this sort of an initial experimentation and then you can do them quickly?
I think once we figure out the application and the technique, then it shouldn't take as long. But unfortunately, this method does require like an object per person. So
that's fine. To both of them, I'm just going to say, how long do you think that we, because we're new here, do you think we could be out there for longer than an hour before things affect us, or do you think we are now at risk?
We were out there for ages before we found it.
That is true.
yeah.
Surely.
Yeah, you were out there for a good day and a half with only some, well, I mean, not that Eugene really knows, but like some minor effects, really.
That's true. We have just realised or found out that Eugene did have some things, but
I think that I feel like Erda explained that the more you lose of yourself, the quicker it gets.
yeah, she
Like,
did
your
mention something
defenses
about
are
that.
stripped down.
Well, because if we want to go and have a look at the cult of the dragon or the temple or whatever up the road, I just wondered if we should. I'd rather not wait another 2 days to do that.
No. How far away did they say it was?
I don't think they did.
Oh.
No. But I'm sure we can ask the
The Cult of the
cultist.
Dragon are in the town, in Vestry.
Oh, so that's in the town. Okay.
But the temple is on the way, right?
It's on the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
The temple's closer, but then the
How
cult
far away
is
was the town?
About 3 days.
Oh.
Okay.
3 days if you go slowly. It's like slightly quicker if you manage to get make good time or press on during the night.
Do we know how far away the temple is?
No idea.
Great.
You just know it's on the way. All you have is vague reports. None of the villagers have been there. They've only heard about it from that one encounter. But they know it's on the way to Vestrin.
Okay.
What should we do then? Should we risk it and walk to the temple? Or should we wait until
What,
we've
today?
Eugene's working
I'm
with...
needed here. I can't come with. If you were going to go today, you'd have to go without me.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Well, I mean, I suppose we could, or we could perhaps try and help here today, and then see if Eugene is
Yeah,
finished.
we'll give him another day. We'll give you two another day to work stuff out, and we will help out with other things here today.
Yeah, I don't think it would be smart to go without some kind of
We're not going without you.
It's dangerous to take this with you.
Yeah, it's dangerous to go alone.
It's dangerous. Take this small
stone.
squishy wizard with you.
And Pebble.
Yeah, from a general sense, Eugene, you probably get the impression that actually that's probably one of the best field tests that you can do for this, is the three of you keeping each other in check with each of you with an amulet to see.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And I'm guessing what I said earlier is correct. So it would take them a while to figure out the application the first time, but then it's not going to take 2 days every time we have to. Okay.
No, it would probably take him about an hour to make an amulet, but it just means that he needs to be on hand for keeping everyone safe. It means that he's probably going to have more time on his hands, but he's still going to need to be around. He can't go and find his mentor or anything like that. But such an article would free the three of you up to travel on further safely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Well, I will. Eugene, you carry on and do your thing with that strange boy, and we will. I'm sure we can help. Perhaps we could do the run as Erda was mentioning. Ashton.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about those little kids doing it themselves. I feel like we should go with them.
Okay, so
I'm sure we can help.
So for plans, Eugene is going to stay and carry on doing research, and the two of you are doing the shopping run.
We'll go out and do the big shop.
I am guarding the people doing the shopping run.
That's the idea. So we're going to abstract the rest of this day to kind of move ourselves forward a little bit.
Because that would be a shopping episode nobody wants to see.
Exactly. If you're literally going to get groceries.
Yeah.
Not magical items.
That'd be amazing.
Groceries.
No, it would not.
Yeah,
We already had the
big
shopping
shop at
episode
M&S.
this season.
No, we'll have a shopping. We'll have a proper shopping episode at some point to help you relax a bit.
It's the beach episode next. That's the next filler episode we're allowed to have. So go shopping episode, beach episode.
Do we have to have the minis story where all of you are school kids in a high school in Japan for no real explicable reason?
No!
Yeah.
I don't want to have that one.
No.
So, Eugene, I would like you to roll me 3 Arcana checks.
Okay.
The first one is for checking what you guys have done. The second one is to try and apply it, and the third one is for the final piece.
Can I Can I help? I would like to give Eugene bardic inspiration in case they need it on a roll.
You can give it for the first one, I think, because this is over the time. So this is probably you like giving Eugene some pep talk before.
Yes, I'm going to tap Eugene on the shoulder and say, I'm sure that you can get this sorted today. Don't get distracted by that disorganized boy. Now, you can do this. Go on, and then just push them towards the table. That's my bardic
I
inspiration.
love the Rock doesn't approve.
I never said I don't approve, but you don't. You've actually just met him. You don't know what he's like.
Whereas Ashling's like, get some.
Eugene is completely oblivious to either of these things. Okay, so I got a 20, a 14, and an 18.
14.
Hell yeah.
18. Nice. Those are all
Go.
really good.
Wow.
Okay, and I have one more roll myself. Okay. So he rolled a 26, an 18, and a 9. So between the two of you, this goes well. Like the first bit,
Hey.
the first bit is so
Dream
smooth. Like all the theory is kind of. You have probably been quietly organising his notes a little better.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Without him noticing.
That's what I was doing when he went upstairs.
Alphabetizing his notes.
Yeah, introducing him to the Dewey Decimal System.
Absolutely fantastic. You've probably even just slipped him a bullet journal just to make sure. Things like that. He is completely... Like, this really helps him focus. And he takes the lead on the first bit because this is still his theory. The second bit, the two of you are much more close. And there's some of the theory that's just a little bit out of your current knowledge level. And he's be able to kind of extract... kind of like abstract that into ways that you understand really well. You're actually going to get the impression that if he, in the future, he has a good chance to be a teacher a mage who lectures and teaches other wizards. He's got a real gift for it. Once he gets over his shyness and once he starts talking, he's quite animated and really quite interesting to listen to. And the third bit is the actual physical application. And this is clearly where he's at his weakest because he has no field experience. Unlike you, who literally has taught themselves in the field. So he's like, I don't know how to do this. I know this works. We know this works, but I don't know how to. And you're like, I got it. It's no problem. And you create the magical circle. You get the right bits of ingredients. So you get things like salt and some herbs that you know are good for bits and pieces. And you actually probably ask these two to pick some stuff up for you. You're going.
I feel like Aisling immediately becomes worried that they're planning on eating her stone. Salt and herb.
I can just see Rock and Aisling looking at the list and Rock going, what are they making? Another stew?
Well, they're supposed to be doing important stuff.
What do they need herbs for? It's ridiculous magic.
Oh, whatever. Maybe it's a magical panini. Let's go.
Yeah, and with that, and the final bit, you take the lead, and the spell connects. It is his magic, but you guide it, and the first stone is ready by the time the evening is drawing on, and it sits there. And Aisling, your stone, it looks pretty. Like when you kind of see it, it's a stone. Like when you had it, it was a very nice stone, a very important stone to you. But now it has like this slight shimmer around it, and you're fairly certain you can just see like a twitch in it, like a rune, just kind of drift over the front of it every once in a while.
She's holding it. She's like, I love it. Oh,
Eugene just looks very proud.
And Grist looks very proud as well.
Pretty. Well done, you guys. Oh my god. And she puts it on a little thingy and puts it around her neck.
Yeah. So you will need to attune to it, but you basically are under the effects of Intellect Fortress for the next 3 days.
Nice.
Which is very, very cool. Rock and Aisling. The two children take you with them. The elder of the two, Violet, is a strapping young woman with like dark hair and like tied back in quite a tight set of braids and things like that. She has a practice sword at her hip, which she holds very seriously. She's probably about 14, coming on 15. Her eyes are everywhere. First of all, she grumbles that she doesn't think that they need protecting, and then her brother like talks her down. Brother's like a couple of summers younger. Skinny lad, very bookish, but with a big bright smile, and a very easy way about him. It's almost like he reads you very easily and just kind of sets into pace and things like that. Rock, I would like you to make me an intelligence check, please.
Because that went so well last time. Oh, well, it's much better this time. It was a 7.
7. Yep. You don't pick up anything unusual about either of the twins.
Obviously not. If I notice that she's a little prick because she doesn't think they need sort of looking after or anything, I will intentionally sort of let them overhear me saying to Aisling, to be honest, I think they could protect us. I don't think they need our help. But we'll go along for the walk, and then I'll just walk along.
Yeah, get some fresh air. Wink, wink.
Yeah, I think once she
you should Ashley, don't say wink wink when you do it. It doesn't.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Right. She writes that down.
She settles down a bit after that, and particularly once she figures out she's the one that's having to lead this. To be fair, because you guys don't have a clue where you're going. She is very good at keeping you all involved, though. She gives everybody stuff to do, so nobody feels left out, and she's very organised and very sensible of things. And after a while, you kind of get to chat to the two of them a little bit. They open up a bit, and you find out that their mother brought them to the tavern after their father went and walked out into the night and didn't come back. They have seen their father a couple of times on their journey, but he's gone. And Violet is... The sense you get from Violet is she's very angry about this, and she's angry at her mum for letting him go, but she's also not at the same time. Is that very sort of... I have no control over the situation, I'm just angry at it, and I'm looking for someone to blame. Lenil, by comparison, is upset, but he understands what's happening. Interestingly, you very quickly get the impression that Lenil has an idea of the passage of time that none of the others have. Like when you start talking about how long they've been there, he immediately says, I think we've been in the inn about 5 years now. And it might be longer because time's a bit weird, and his sister just goes, shh! And he doesn't talk about it anymore.
I'm going to elbow Rock as he says that, just to be like, that was significant.
I shall flinch and then gently elbow Aisling back.
Okay.
The rest of your day isn't too bad. You're taking up to what is quite clearly an old farm on the outskirts. Collect some, milk some cows. Prep. You have to do some butter churning. It's that exciting. And collect some.
That's fine, but Ashling's milking the cows. I'm not.
Yeah, and you kind of have to do some bits and pieces, pick up some fruit and vegetables that have been growing in a different place and things like that. So clearly Erda has got everybody very organised, and these runs are designed to try and keep everything ticking over so they have got food in case they need it, and everything else.
So does food still grow?
Yep, seems to.
Okay. I can't remember from the last session whether we figured that one out.
as far as you've been able to work out, nature itself still seems to run, and some animals are unaffected. The closer the animal is to humanity, the more it is affected. So
Yeah, because I've got in my
affected.
notes, Peter the dog, all caps, must protect.
Yeah. So Peter's affected. Domestic cattle are all affected. But birds and bees and birds and insects and stuff, things that are just basically wild, seem to be unaffected at all. So the closer they are to natural nature, it's fine. But everything else seems to be growing. I think even you have a conversation about seasons, and I think at this point that Lenny will kind of goes, "Oh yeah, we get seasons. It gets colder and warmer. We haven't seen snow, or kind of much we've seen some rain, but not much. It's weird. It's kind of almost like somebody occasionally remembers that weather's supposed to happen." You guys make it back. Probably just about time that Eugene and Gris are sitting back, looking very pleased with themselves with a glowing stone. With the rest of the occupants of the inn sort of sitting around them, looking really excited and quite hopeful for the first time since you've been there. They're kind of like, well, takes all the stuff and goes, well done. You've definitely earned yourself a sit down. Can I get you anything to drink or anything? And I think Eugene is very keen to talk to you all. He's very excited. Look at him, he's beaming.
Yeah, looks like something's going on. What's up, Eugene? How'd it go?
We finished. We finished. You got to come see it.
Oh my god!
There we go. Gris kind of strokes back and says, if Eugene and Rock, you have something personal that you would like to offer, I can do this for you as well. I can do that tonight. I've still got enough magic in me to do that today.
I'm sure that it would work. I've got this sort of it's a fake insignia, but I have a signet ring, and I'm going to give him a signet ring that I have of some fictional lord, and I will get him to do it on that.
I have a quick perception check off of Aisling and Eugene.
Oh.
Is it a no from Eugene?
It's an 8.
Okay, that's fair enough. You're too busy excited.
I'm too busy being excited, yeah.
And Aisling? You're muted.
I was muted, sorry. 17.
17.
Yeah.
1, that signet ring doesn't look like a fake. And 2, there's something very familiar about the signet as Rock passes it over.
Do I know what is familiar about it?
Make me a brief history check.
Okay. That's a 9.
A 9? No. It's one of those things where it's like you've seen something like that before and you can't quite put your finger on it.
Okay. I keep that to myself, but I'm very much like, okay.
So Rock is very much downplaying the worth of this signet ring.
Yeah.
So yes, you've pushed this over, and Brisk kind of turns it over and says, well, this is a really lovely object. Thank you for trusting me with this.
It's fine. It's not important.
He spends the next hour kind of putting it through the same process as the stone, and eventually he passes it back to you, and it has the same shimmer around it. And you now have a ring of intellect
fortress. Obviously, I put it on and admire it.
Oh, it looks good.
The way the light plays just kind of reflects up the scales on your fingers as well.
Obviously,
Ooh.
it does. It's beautiful.
Cover girl.
Cover girl.
You start voguing immediately.
And Eugene, do you have anything that you want to...
He thinks for a minute, and then he takes an earring out of his ear, and it's like a big hoop with like some It's got one big moon and like 2 little stars that hang from the hoop, and he
Aw.
kind of hands that over.
Pretty.
I think Grace kind of looks and goes, "This is really pretty. This is moon elf you make."
Yeah, it's my mum made it. I have one, and my sister has the other.
That's really cool. That's really cool. She's very talented. And kind of sits down and kind of does the same thing. When he hands it back to you, you can tell there's been a little bit more work put into this one than the others. Like when you put it on, there's like a little tiny shimmer, and it almost looks like dancing stars underneath the others. As the
If you look really closely, it says, "Do you like me, Y/N?"
2 little boxes that say yes or no, and you have to.
Y/N, always.
it is wizard. It's the wizard equivalent of.
Yeah, you've got to pass him a note back now.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Eugene is not catching any of these hints, by the way.
It is very much a case of he puts in more effort because he clearly has made a connection with Eugene and he cares about the work he's doing. And thus ends your first day and the last day of Eugene's research. Does anyone want to help stay up and help Riskarif keep watch, or are you going to get a good night's sleep? What's your plan moving forward? Now you've got.
I would like to try and grab a couple of minutes with the boy twin of the boy child that we went out with. What was his name?
Leniel. Leniel Fletcher. Leniel. Now that the children have been with you, both their mum, Amanda, Leniel, and Violet, they're all a bit more open and comfortable with you. Before they were very in their own little isolated pocket, but Leniel actually is very keen to talk to you because you've been places and he hasn't. So
yeah, I'm just going to try. If he's sitting somewhere on his own or whatever, I'm just going to go and sit next to him and just going to say, "Can I join you?"
You wait till the moment where Violet is is asking Riskarif a lot of questions about swordplay. And just slide into the booth next to Leniel, who's having a read. Oh, hi, Rock. Hi. I'm sorry Violet was a bit grumpy with you to start with. She's just a detective, that's all.
It's perfectly fine. This is a very trying situation for everybody, I think, and we are strangers after all. But thank you for taking us around today.
You tell really good stories, by the way.
Well, thank you. I have been told that many times. I couldn't help but notice that you have a remarkable grasp on times and things, which I see a lot of people here don't seem to be able to remember that kind of thing. It's a great talent.
Oh yeah. I just understand stuff like that. I guess I like reading, and I'm not Gris or Eugene, but they're really smart. But Mum is also very clever, so I just know stuff like that.
What else? What other kind of things do you know?
I always know which direction it is. Can you keep a secret?
Well, of course.
Okay. And he kind of leans in really close. Sometimes, if I really concentrate, I can hear what other people are thinking.
Oh, I do know people who can do that.
It's not like words, it's more like ideas, I guess, but it's there. Mum said that before all this started, Mum had said that we should probably get someone to teach me how to use it, but...
Well, I'm sure one day you will find someone who can help you do that. I mean, it's a great skill to have. I mean, people are very sensitive, so you have to be careful about poking around in their thoughts and stuff. But it can be very helpful,
I thought you could do it. It's kind of weird. The way you think is different.
I don't necessarily always. I can't tell what people are thinking, but I do have some connection to the song of creation that allows me some magical abilities.
That's really cool.
Well, thank you. But yes, I mean, you should keep working at that, and as I say, just be careful not to intrude on others. But it's a great skill to have. I think that's wonderful.
Well, maybe if you three can figure out what's going on, we can fix this, and then I can finally go and get taught how to do it properly.
I do hope so. We will do our best, and I think tomorrow we will be heading out to try and find some more information, perhaps. Um, but yeah, well, thank you for sharing that, and your secret is safe with me, and until you are ready to tell people yourself, obviously.
And he smiles and nods, and you kind of get this brush of a thought from your mind as you kind of step away. Nothing intrusive, just kind of like a touch, like a hello sort of thing.
I won't even acknowledge it. I will just smile and say, "Well, anyway, I shall leave you to your book, but thank you again." And just going to wander off and go and sit somewhere and wait for more cheese.
There is a fresh
Correct.
block of cheese. Yeah. Oh dear. So you guys finish your day and wrap up. And as I asked, did anybody decide to stay up with Riskarif, or did you decide to just turn in and get a fresh start?
I will probably stay up a little bit at the beginning of it so that I still get a full rest and everything, but just not even talking, just to kind of hang around and.
I think I'll stay up a bit as well because I don't want to have another shitty dream.
Yeah, exactly.
Gris stays up with the pair of you as does Erda for a little while, and I think they're both keen to know what your next move is now you've got the amulets. I mean, do you want to... we should probably do some field research and just make sure that it's safe and that everything's sort of... the notes are brilliant, but I'm fairly certain there's nothing to worry about, but should always... I'm talking too much, you're all looking at me again.
Yeah. What?
What exactly do you mean by test that nothing will go wrong?
What do you mean by pretty sure it's safe?
We've not done this before. We know it works on the inn and anywhere else, a large area, but we've not done it in this isolated way. I mean, I don't have the ability to kind of touch your minds in that way. So
I should hope not.
What do you think? What do you think, Eugene? Please get me out of this. They're all looking at me. It's really awkward.
Yeah, they do that. Yeah, I think. It's probably going to be fine. But it's smart to test something before we roll it out on a larger scale, should we say?
Right. How would we
How would we test this exactly?
Well, we go on our excursion to visit this temple and maybe the town, and we see what happens, and then we come back and report.
So just do the thing. To test it, we just do the thing.
We just do the thing we were going to do anyway, and then we come back and see if
we can remember nothing,
can
then
still
we know
remember
it didn't
things.
work.
Yeah,
See
yeah,
if we are
exactly.
husks.
Great, super.
Okay.
Nothing. It's not going to like explode or something if anything goes wrong.
Well,
It's not
I'm
like
fairly certain if it was going to explode, it would have done by now. It was never going to explode. It's not that sort of magic. It's not explosive magic.
that was the answer you should have led with. Yes.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
It's one of those. It either protects you or it doesn't sort of situations.
It either protects you or explodes. Is that what magic is?
No,
That's
no.
not
No,
magic.
it's not going to explode. If the worst case scenario is it's just not going to do anything.
Okay. All right. So don't explode. Just turn into a soulless husk.
No, yes, but But no, but not because of the amulets. The amulets will not turn you into a lifeless. Whatever's happening.
Mate, I'm doing this on purpose. You know that, right?
Oh.
Okay.
Sweet
summer flower.
Urda's got some hot spiced rum, and she's just sitting back in her chair watching the whole thing, and just with a big grin on her face.
I'm just going to whisper to Ashley and say, Eugene's friend needs a better sense of humour.
He's a sweet summer
Why do you hate him so much?
Ashley loves him. She's just trolling him because she's annoying.
Rock doesn't hate him.
Rock's discerning, protecting Eugene.
Just a little protective of his friends.
So you're going to... Oh, I might have something... and he kind of dives back into his folder. Yes, it's here. Right. And he kind of has 3 pieces of paper that he kind of pulls out. So I sent one of these off, and I never got anything back from my mentor, so I stopped using them because otherwise it's just a bit of a waste. But here, so this paper, it's really clever. If you write a note, as soon as you write the note and the name of who you want to receive it, providing you know who that is, it will go to them.
Cool.
Good, that could be handy.
It's really, really good. They're not cheap, but this is exactly the use that they should have. So he hands them to Eugene and goes, so yeah, at the end of each day, write to me or Erda or Riskarif and let us know how you're getting on, and it will come to us, and we will know exactly if it's working or not.
Okay,
And then
that sounds
if you
like
do
a good
want to
idea.
go on to town, and he kind of looks a little bit disappointed by that whole prospect. I mean, which makes sense because we need to know what's going on. You don't feel like you have to come back and report in immediately. You can come back at your own time.
Right. Yeah, I guess we don't have to come straight back.
No, I mean you should.
Oh, but
come back if you
we
want
might have to come back.
and you can look at my mentor as well. And
I was just going to say, do I remember where he said his mentor was?
he believes his mentor is in the town.
Okay.
But he
Can't
couldn't
remember
remember
if
his name.
No, he couldn't remember his name, but he can remember what he looks like. He is. And he kind of describes him. So he's a tall. Do you have Fearbolg where you come from?
We
Are they
do.
Fae?
No. Well, kind of. I think from what I remember, they're kind of giants.
Giant kin.
Yeah.
So he's a Fearbolg with bright orange hair, and he has a tendency to wear robes that really don't go with that, but it looks amazing. And he's really friendly and very smart. And well, you can't miss him because there's not many Fearbolgs.
I was going to say, he sounds pretty difficult to miss.
Yeah.
So somebody will know where he is.
Well, when we get to the town, we will do our best. I mean, we have a lot of things to look for, but we will do our best.
I feel like we're putting a lot on you, and thank you. We really do appreciate it. I can only echo what Chris is saying. You've been nothing but helpful since you got here. Thank you.
That's all right.
It's what adventurers do. We help people.
And you guys have been good to us.
Anybody who comes in here is part of the family, providing they want to be. It's all we got, really. So it's all we got to offer.
Well, that and a lot of cheese, apparently.
I think it might be a while before I get back on my stocks after you, to be fair. That's not a bad thing. I've never seen.
I'm just going to look at
anybody so
Aisling.
much.
I'm just going to look at Aisling, like totally Aisling.
It's supply and demand. I'm helping.
And you're certainly demanding, yes.
You hear a chuckle from behind you, and Riskarif is just setting up, and she's just shaking her head.
I regret nothing.
Yeah, and why should you? Right, but if you're going up, I'll make sure you've got a big package of stuff to go with you. You should get a good night's sleep, the three of you, and we'll all be up to see you off tomorrow.
We'll see.
Yes.
All right. Let's try and get some sleep, I guess.
Yeah. So you guys make your way up to bed and you get yourself settled. Do you want to do anything before you turn in for the night?
I'm definitely bringing my bedding in and sleeping on the floor in their room. I am not
That was gonna happen.
not sleeping in the room by myself. I drag like a kid bringing their duvet in after they've had a nightmare. I'm dragging in all this bedding.
I love that visual. It's amazing. Yeah. So before either of you have a chance to kind of settle, I think perhaps one of you might be even be in the middle of brushing your teeth or something, and then Aisling just kicks the door in and just drags stuff in.
Hi.
It's
I mean, I
probably-
would have helped you carry that.
That's
It's
okay.
probably Rock who's brushing his teeth and now has sort of foam all dribbling down his face because he got a fright.
Aisling giggles as she walks past.
I was going to be like, did no one teach you to knock?
I did when I kicked
Or rather-
it open.
Or rather,
made a knock
"We
noise."
never teach you to knock." I sounded trying to run like this.
Sounds like it's going well in there.
Shut up. And that's it. I shall try and settle for the evening.
Excellent. I think you're about an hour into sort of settling in. I think you're probably all just on the verge of falling to sleep.
And we have a great sleep and it's wonderful and everything's fine.
No weird dreams, no nothing.
No weird
Everything's
dreams, I
fine.
promise. No weird dreams this time. Just a strange sound on the distance. You think it's like a laughter until it gets closer and then it's kind of something different. Like baying. Strange, sort of wolf-like baying, but there's a laughter to it. It's halfway between something human and something bestial. And it's getting closer and closer. And then you hear the splintering of wood and a scream, and Erda screams downstairs, and you hear shouting. You're all woken up by this point, however close to sleep you are, and you can hear movement and fighting. You can hear Iskarif shouting, "Get upstairs! Get the children upstairs now!" And
I will jump and run for the door immediately.
you run for the door, and you just sort of see, sort of on the stairs, Amanda is just grabbing her children and trying to pull them upstairs out of the way as you kind of barge. I don't know what they are. They're horrible. You need to help Iskarif. She's down on her own.
Can I see anything down below?
You'd need to go further down the stairs to see into there.
Okay.
Aisling and Eugene, what are you doing?
I've got an Eldritch Blast ready to go and I'm sliding out the door.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Eugene just shoves clothes on and runs out the door.
You guys belt down the door and you find...
I'm going to grab my pistol, by the way.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. I'll grab my pistol.
That is fine. So you guys belt down the stairs and you kind of find the tap room in absolute chaos. Erda is cringing behind the bar. Riskarif is in the middle of the floor, standing tall, trying to help it. Behind her a little bit, the dwarf has got his axe out and is trying to kind of hack at this huge, vicious-looking beast. Dog-like body with wolf-like shoulders, sharp claws, and a very, very human face with deep red eyes that is yapping and laughing. And they just turn and look at you.
Hate that.
And that's where we're going to end the session tonight.
Nope.
Oh, for God's sake.
Nope. Unsubscribe. I'm out.
I was fine till the human face part.
Yeah. Big
Yeah,
scary
what?
dog. And then with a human face.
I think there's some D&D fanatics who are going, ooh, Whoa.
What? Wah.
Indeed.
So we will pick up next week with this fight.
God damn it.
Straight into some action after a very RP heavy session this week.
And
Thank
a
you
nice,
guys.
peaceful, not very roll-heavy
Yeah,
episode.
thank you very much, everyone, for bearing with us, and thank you for letting me just go and lore dump on all of you guys. I had a lot of fun. I hope you two did.
It was
too.
fun.
I love it.
D&D dreams are the best, man.
D&D dreams are... I like playing with dreams. Reading too much Neil Gaiman growing up, that's the problem.
Yeah, totally.
That's never a bad thing, by the way. You can never read too much Neil Gaiman.
No.
Right. So, I will let my wonderful cast of people say their goodbyes and tell you, one, where you can find them on the internet, and two, anything that they might have going on in the next little while. We'll start with Charlie today.
Cool. You can find me at charlievince.com, my Charlie spelt without an E. And at the bottom of that page, there's all my social media and stuff, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. I do have still got some good stuff available in my shop at the moment. I haven't got guaranteed Christmas delivery, but if you want to get yourself just a treat anyway, then go ahead, and there's slots in there for custom D&D character illustrations as well. So if anyone needs their character drawn.
Yeah. Charlie does all the art for this stream, the character stuff as well. We didn't get to see it this week, but you will next session.
Yeah, so charlievince.com, and thank you ever so much. You're all complete babes, and thank you, Chris. This is so much fun, if horrifying.
Could have a little creepy. Was it?
Yeah, I love it. I love a bit of creepy.
Excellent. Theo, you're next, my dear. Tell us what you're up to and where we can find you.
You can find me on the internet at most places at theoblue.jpg or www.theoblueillustration.com. There is links to everything on there. And I'm not doing an awful lot now, winding down for the festive period. Thank you so much for joining us. And Chris is so beautifully modeling one of my t-shirts, actually.
Dice Gremlin!
Available now.
It's the
Available now
t-shirt.
on Etsy.
I love this shirt. It's really cool. And very appropriate for this group of people as well.
It's true.
Mini dice.
Last but not least, Wayne, if you would like to update people what you're up to and where they can find you.
Sure. You can find me most places on the internet at WayneFix01, and I am doing very little apart from preparing for our Wild Beyond the Witchlight stream, which begins on January the 4th, in case I haven't mentioned that. Yes, and you can follow me on Instagram and sign up for my newsletter, where I'm sending out some more regular emails about beautiful things in design and branding and supporting small businesses, etc. And I wanted to say a special thank you to everybody who has joined to watch and follow along with us today, especially the Wicked Game crew who are here in the chat. It is much appreciated and lovely to have you here.
Yeah, we love having you guys along.
Please go watch Wicked Game.
Yes.
Go and have a look at their stream. They are amazing.
Yeah. Cool, which just leaves me. My name is Chris Mepham. You can find me at Chris Mepham RPG on the Twitter or at Chris Mepham Art on the Instagram. I don't have a huge amount going on, but I'm often on there just talking RPG, showing up some art that I'm working on at the moment. January is going to be a big month both for me and for this stream. As Wayne said, we have Wild Beyond the Witchlight starting. We have 2 sessions of this, a very special guest who I'm very excited to announce very soon. So please do keep an eye on our social media. If you're not following us already, it is at Some Other Heroes, wherever your socials are mediated. Huge thank you to the guys from Wicked Game. if you're not following them already, please do. They stream every Wednesday at the moment when they can. They are currently in a massive crossover with some other friends of ours, Dice and a Slice. Piratical Chaos, which has also got very real for them. So we're very excited about the next episode of that. In the meantime, we love you to pieces. Hi to Colleen's mum and to Charlie's mum, and thank you for being the mums of D&D.
Love you. The Mums of D&D Association.
We will see you next Sunday for our next episode, which I'm very excited
about. Next week. Yay!
We don't have to wait 2 weeks.
No.
Oh, and just real quick, look how cute my dog looks right now.
Have a lovely week, everybody. Much love, and we will see you very soon.
Thanks, everyone.
Love you all.